So, hey, once again, welcome back to Reaper Tips with a smarmy Brit. And we've got Adam Steele guesting on the show. Thanks for being on the show. I really appreciate the one finger salute.
Anytime.
Okay, so I'm going to hand the show over to Adam again today. He's going to teach us some cool stuff. And I actually turned Adam onto this a couple days ago. I found this plugin for Reaper. It's absolutely free. It's called the Reeq. And it is the most badass, beautiful EQ I've ever seen. And once again, it's absolutely free. Adam, show us what it's all about.
Certainly. Onward.
Today's topic then, Reeq, but not re as in Reaper EQ, which is this one here. That's our stock default EQ. And if I play something through this, looks nice, functional. It's got loads of band choices, but it's not this new one that we found. This is confusingly named REEQ, so Reeq, or as Glenn calls it, Reeq, like that character from Game of Thrones. Reeq. I do kind of want to wave a sausage around whenever I say Reeq. This looks a lot like a certain other EQ that we may know. It looks a lot like, let's be honest, it looks a lot like Pro Q2 from FabFilter. And it does a lot of the same jobs. Not all of them, but if I bring this up, you can find this plugin. This doesn't come with Reaper. You have to download this. And so it's actually from a forum thread by someone who made this in JS, which is kind of the scripting language for Reaper. And he's made all of this with all these cool features that we're about to talk about. And it's yours for the cost of absolutely nothing, although I highly recommend giving this guy a donation of a couple of dollars. You can find this by this link up here, or literally just Google REEQ Reaper and it comes up first thing. So there's a lot going on. Let's play with it. So you'll see with this one, there are no bands by default, which is great. And it's got all these buttons down here. If I double click somewhere in the middle, it'll give me a band EQ, which, you know, if you've ever used an EQ, you should know how a band works by now. You can get a bit more or less, low or high, but as I change the frequency, you can see it's changing color, which is really nice because at a glance, we'll be able to see more mids, more lows. I do like colorful things, as you can see from the waveform behind. So if I hit play, it'll sweep them round. Which is very nice. And the EQ arguably is better quality than the stock Reaper one. Not that the stock Reaper one is bad, but this has oversampling inbuilt. And if we go to the bottom, there's a set of buttons, and the one on the left is HQ. So the oversampling means that the top end apparently is clearer and nicer. It does add 16 samples of latency, which if you need this to be zero latency, you can change it to economy mode. And for that period of time while you're using it like that, there's no oversampling, but there's no latency. If you need to use it live, you can do that. If you need to use it in a mix and you want better quality, go with the high quality mode. But there are so many different options here. Something that's different from Reaper's stock EQ is that how narrow a band isn't measured in octaves, it's measured in Q, which is the opposite. So I can make these really, really nice little dips. Especially on like nasty resonances in heavy guitar tones, I can use something very pretty to go hunting. There is a dedicated notch which will absolutely take the living daylights out of a particular frequency, which it can be very useful if you've got something like a screaming feedback frequency that you need to get rid of. You can notch it right out. It's a little extreme for me, but using the Q, you can do that too. There are different low cuts. Now, I like this a lot because you can choose where your low cut is, but then down here, you can choose how steep that low cut is. and you can choose 12 dB, 18 dB, all the way through to 120 dB, which is a very steep drop off. But then I could change that to a Butterworth type, which, as you can see, is very different and doesn't have that big soft knee in it. It basically gets to that point and then dips very quickly. And I really like that because that means I can leave, say I wanted an 80 hertz filter, I can bring this right up to 80 hertz, and then it will very quickly start to get rid of all that low end. I personally like things to work like that.
Hey everybody, just breaking into this tutorial to remind you that the Pro Mix Academy Summer Insanity Sale is going on right now. We've got all kinds of insane deals going on, including the Everything Bundle, which is every single Pro Mix Academy course, which is going for about $497. That's like $2,500 off the sticker price or something insane like that. We've also got the Ultimate Rock Mixing Bundle, which has got Motorhead, Galacticon, Aquabats, all my stuff, including Total Heavy Guitar. We've also got the Guitar Tone Bundle, which is Total Heavy Guitar and Guitar Tone Mastery, going for $97. And of course, we've got Adam Steele's Ultimate Reaper Guide, going for $97. All of that is going to be on sale till July 12th. The sale only comes up once a year. So if you want to get in on that, follow the link in the description below. Now back to the tutorial.
It's the same with the high cut, and there's a Butterworth as well on the high cut. I personally do that to my heavy guitars now because I have the choice. So I'll make a very steep Butterworth and then get rid of crap on top of guitars. Very, very nice function there. So there's high and low shelves as well, so we can do the typical shelving thing. But there's also a low Pultec shelf. So as we raise that one, it does this nice mid-dip thing, which the regular low shelf doesn't. It behaves very much like an actual Pultec, which is really nice. And then the low shelf behaves very much like a normal low when you go under. So you have these options. There's a bandpass as well, which you can change the Q of, very useful. And there's a tilt shelf. I love the tilt shelf because I can move it around like this and I can have more bass, less treble, or the opposite way around, just on one nice control. Now, an EQ's an EQ, so that's it, right? No, there's more. There's mid and side controls, and here's the real killer. I can make, say, let's make this a peak, and that peak there goes on the low end, and it goes in stereo, right? I make another peak here. Let's say I want to cut something, but I only want to cut it on the mid. So I can go to stereo and I can choose either mid or side or left or right. And I can have, say, this one is now on the mid, but I want a dip on the sides. So if I make this new one sides only, this is affecting the mids, as you can see from the up and down there. This one's affecting only the sides. I could make a real one there that's only on the left. And I could make a high boost here that's only on the right. And you can do all of these all at once in exactly the same plugin, which means if you've got little issues going on in different places in a mix, you can change them all at exactly the same time. Then at the bottom, there are nice extra features like phase inversion for the mid or the sides, separate up and downs, so you can just change the overall level of the sides or the mid without affecting anything. There's a limiter, and that limiter means that if you absolutely go crazy on a particular band, it will just nicely stop that from blowing your speakers up. Always appreciated. There's mid, side, or left and right there, which is controls for the gains and the phases here. So if I want to flip the phase on left or right channel and change its level, that's doable there. There's a percentage thing, and what the percentage thing does is it exaggerates everything or softens it back off. So I can, if I've got everything dialed in just right, but then I decide all the frequencies are in the right places, I've just overdone it a little, I can bring the percentage down there. Or I can go, yes, it's all right, but do it all more, and do it that way as well. And last but not least, there's AGC, which is automatic gain control, which means that as we go up and down with particular gains, Let's just reset everything. And then put the AGC on. There we go. As I've done that massive dip in the mids there, the AGC has compensated by bringing the overall level back up. So that's a really nice feature, so that if you want to go a bit more of this, a bit less of that, bit less of that, but overall want the level to stay the same, the AGC will keep that on track for you. So this is a very pretty plugin, but it's not just pretty and useless. It's very, very useful and is now going to be on pretty much every mix that I do, wherever I need little tweaks, little changes, little EQ shifts that aren't that kind of vintage style that I use in other plugins. This is going to see a lot of action. Back to you, Glenn.
All right, so that's the Reeq EQ. I absolutely love this thing. I started using it everywhere as opposed to the built-in Rhea EQ, which was pretty great. This one's just like a completely different level, and it just looks so pretty. So follow the link description below, all that good stuff. Check out Adam's channel, subscribe if you like his stuff, and follow the link for the Rhea EQ as well, or Reeq, or whatever the fuck it's called. Rhea EQ, Reeq. I like Reeq. It just sounds like a bad guy on Game of Thrones.
Yes.
And I totally stole your one-liner there.
And you wonder why in the intros I do what I do.
All right. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.